Good morning, fourth graders. All right, so yesterday in grammar, we talked about the fourth part of speech that we've learned about adjectives. And adjectives, all they do is modify nouns or pronouns. And when I say modify, I just mean they describe them, they change them. And adjectives answer a few questions. They tell us which, whose, how many, and what kind of. So any words that tell us something like that, those are going to be adjectives. And that's my dog. There are also three articles that are always going to be adjectives. The articles are a, and the. Okay? So yesterday you should have worked on diagramming adjectives, and when we diagram, we first do our sentence skeleton, a subject and a predicate, and sometimes we might have a direct object or a predicate nominative, and then we diagram adjectives under the noun that they change with a slanted line. Okay, so we'll review some of that in a minute, but on the board right now we're going to move on to the next thing. All right, so I've got some sentences here that are a little awkward. There has got to be a way that we can change them to make them sound better. The doll that belongs to Mary is lost. That's a lot of words to say Mary's doll is lost, right? Joel hit the ball that belongs to John over the wall. Okay? Instead of saying all those words, we could say Joel hit John's ball over the wall. And then the last sentence, Father backed over the bicycle that belongs to Susie. Father backed over Susie's bicycle. Okay? So what those are possessive nouns, okay? They show possession, they show ownership. And they are also adjectives because they tell us whose ball, whose bike, whose doll. So today we are going to learn about possessive forms of adjectives. Adjectives that tell whose can be made by changing nouns to possessive forms. So I have a chart up here, and we've already talked about singular nouns and plural nouns, right? Singular means one, plural means more than one. So we've already talked about singular and plural. So I'm going to put a few words up here. So I have the word teacher. In order to make the word teacher plural, meaning there's more than one teacher, what am I going to do? I'm just going to add an S. Okay, we've already learned that. That's super easy. Now, if I have one teacher, and I'm talking about the teacher's book, then I'm going to add an apostrophe S. Okay, so my apostrophe goes after the R, before the S, and it shows that whatever comes after belongs to one teacher. Now, my plural possessive is going to look a little different. So I have more than one teachers. There are many teachers, and they all have books. So the teacher's books, in order to make that possessive, I have to write out my plural word, teachers, and my apostrophe comes after my S. Okay? So plural possessive, if my plural form ends with an S, then my apostrophe goes after the S. Looks kind of weird, but that's how we can tell the difference between singular possessive and plural possessive. Okay? Let's look at one that's a little bit different. Okay, this is an irregular noun. So I have the word child. How would I make the word child plural? let's change the whole thing. So it becomes children. Okay? If the child had a doll, it was the child's doll, then I'm going to do an apostrophe S, okay? Child's. The doll belongs to one child. Now, plural word is children. The word children, the plural form, does not end with an S. Therefore, I'm not going to put an S and then an apostrophe. I only do that if my plural form ends with an S. So for children, I'm going to write apostrophe S, okay? So the only time I add my apostrophe after my S is if the plural form ends with an S. Otherwise, I take my plural form and I add my apostrophe S, okay? All right, so possessive nouns, possessive adjectives allow us to tell who something belongs to, and it kind of shortens our sentence a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so today for your assignment, I want you to do written practice, page 282. You are going to do part B. So you're going to have a chart that looks like this. You are going to fill in your chart in your notebook. So you're going to do part B, and actually you're going to do part A and B. All right, so written practice, page 282, part A and B in your notebook. If for some reason you have a question, if you don't understand, because this is a new concept for my 4th graders, have your parents text me, you can FaceTime me, we can work through this together, okay? Y'all have a great day.